Good evening. My name is Frederick. This video is to show you how to go from John F. Kennedy Airport to many parts of the city using public transportation. And it's pretty much giving you directions on many things. Directions to many parts of the city. What you're gonna need to start off to ride the MTA system is a Metro card. No, you need a Metro card. A paper ride Metro card, right? It may start you about $5. You buy it at a store which sells these at a Metro card merchant or a nearby subway station. Or if you happen to took the air train, it's like you will have to buy it at the vending machine. But that air trains cost $5. I'm not going to show the video for the $5 here, but you're gonna have to pay. But you have to purchase a Metro card at a vending machine at the subway station or at the air train station or at a local merchant. You can buy a paper ride Metro card. That's if you don't use the system very frequently. The fare is $2.75 for the local bus and the subway. It's $6.50, I think, for the express bus. So, but that's with the paper ride. You have the unlimited ride for seven day unlimited Metro card. It's a weekly Metro card, about $32, and then there's a monthly 30, which is really 30-day unlimited Metro card for $121. I usually purchase the $121 because I do a lot of travel, a whole lot. But this is what you need for starters. You need a Metro card for starters. Okay, to give you the price to go to JFK Airport, as I stated before. Okay, they said the air train is $5. Okay, there's the air train connects with goes to Jamaica and it goes to Howard Beach, and then there's one that circles the airport. Okay, and then to take a taxi from JFK Airport to Manhattan, mostly. Other locations may be a lower price. It's going to be a flat fare of $52 plus a 50-cent state surcharge, 30-cent, and $4.50 rush hour surcharge from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. weekdays, including legal holidays. Passengers responsible for paying at tolls. That's the taxi limousine rate. So that's coming out your pocket if you take a taxi. Okay. So we're gonna do the public transportation since that's the cheaper one. I'm gonna give you a hint on what you need. If you're inside the airport, what you need. Okay, this is something you need to know. Okay, this right here, what's behind this articulated bus is an air train. That's a monorail train. It's a monorail train that one of them circles the airport, the others service all the terminals. One going to downtown Jamaica by the Long Island Railroad and the subway, and the other one going to Howard Beach. So that is what they call the air train, which was behind that articulated bus that I picked. It's free. That the air train is free inside the airport. You do not pay until you leave. If you board in the airport, you do not pay until you leave at either Jamaica or Howard Beach. If you pay only $5 at the vending machine. You swipe through. And you swipe through if you going into the airport from either Jamaica or Howard Beach. That's when you only pay. But inside the airport, the air train is free. So you need to know. Also, what you need to know. You need travel information. This is a Queens bus map. Since JFK Airport is located in Queens, you need a Queens bus map. The transportation that's inside JFK Airport. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. JFK Airport is right here at the bottom on the Queens bus map, as you can see. is at the bottom. So the transportation that goes there is there's only 3 bus routes that enter the terminal area of JFK Airport. Some go to the cargo area, but that's not your bus line. But you need the routes that go to the terminal area, which is the stop is Terminal 5 in JFK Airport. The routes are the B-15, which takes you to Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. That's about an 80-minute ride. It's an 80-minute ride, local bus. I advise you take the bus if you don't want to pay for the air train. It's the B-15 bus, which takes you to Bedford-Stuyvesant. Okay. The next one is the Q3 bus, which takes you to downtown Jamaica. That's a 50-minute ride. That's advisable if you go into areas of Queens east of the Van Wyck Expressway. That's a north to south expressway corridor in Queens. If you in destinations in Queens east of the Van Wyck Expressway, if you wish to transfer to Nassau Intercounty Express going into Nassau County, I advise you to use the Q3 bus. The last one is the Q10 bus. That is the Lefferts Boulevard route, which also goes to the airport. It goes to Kew Gardens, which is a subway station as well. That's about a 45 to 50-minute ride. I advise you to use the Q10 if you go into areas of Queens west of the Van Wyck Expressway. You may want to use Google Maps to help you with your travel plans. I advise you if you do using the buses, I advise you to limit your transfers to 2. Meaning this way you take no more than 3 buses to your destination. And of course, and to add to this, the Q10 should be used to areas of Queens up west of the Van Wyck Expressway up to the Brooklyn and Queens borderline. Main reason because some Queens routes enter Brooklyn, and from those areas, if you have a paper route, you could have a direct transfer to the B-15 bus. It may not be a direct route, but you have a transfer to the B-15 bus, which will cut down on your fares. So it's up to the Brooklyn and Queens borderline, where I advise you, if you're in that area, I would advise you to try to connect with the Q10 along Lefferts Boulevard to take you to and from the airport. Okay, this is a New York City subway map and a Long Island Railroad map. A commuter railroad map. The subway map is on this side. Shows you the area. Shows basically the 5 boroughs, like the transit in the 5 boroughs, the basic transit in the 5 boroughs. On the back of this map is the commuter railroad map. As you can see, the Long Island Railroad is pretty much towards Long Island, except for plant, and Metro North is going north in the north area, the northern suburb area. So this is a very important map for you if you're traveling to the airport. This is very important.
Okay, this is one of the flaws of Google Maps. Okay, just take a look. They say, okay, I gave a direction. I typed in, as you see in the top, JFK Airport Terminal 5 as the starting point, which you see here. And then I typed in Co-op City, the Bronx. Google Maps is a good tool. However, take a look. Some of the itineraries they show is they don't give you the most direct routes. They'll tell you some indirect route just because it's a rapid form of transportation. But it doesn't give you the most direct route. I plug in JFK to Co-op City. Okay. Now Google Maps is going to tell you to take the air train to Jamaica, which I agree on that part. But then it's going to tell you to take the E train to Midtown Manhattan. Co-op City, the Bronx is up here. The Bronx is up here. I'm not going this way. We're not going this way to go to the Bronx. You want to go directly. So they're going to tell you to take the E. Even just because it's faster doesn't mean it's the best route. They're going to tell you to take the E train. Then Then it's going to take the D train. Transfer at 7th Avenue to catch the D train to, was it Fordham Road or something like that, and then take the BX12. Nobody's going to ride like that, especially going to Midtown Manhattan from Co-op City. If you take a look on the map, Co-op City is really closer to the number 5 train, which runs across like this. Like I'm gonna show you on the map, on the subway map. For one, like Co-op City is closer to like the Baychester Avenue station on the 5. Okay, Baychester Avenue station. Okay, you will ride from Baychester Avenue. If you go into Manhattan, that area of Manhattan, you will ride Baychester Avenue down to like East 180th Street or to 149th Street, whatever, and you will transfer to the number 2. The number 2 is red, which takes you to the air. Okay, since the D connects here, the 2 takes you to like the 2 takes you around this area, or you may have to transfer to the 1 train. Things like that. Nobody's gonna ride the D and then a bus across like that. So that's like a flaw of Google Maps. Okay. I mean, it's slight helpful if you don't want to juggle all these maps, but that's not the case. So, and it's looking at this time of night, like 1:34. I mean, that's the worst itinerary. So that's like one of the flaws. Okay. And then tell you to 20. We're still not doing it. Okay. A route that I would advise. Okay, they say take the Q3. I mean, it's like you're timing everything. I may agree with this route that Google Maps say, because they tell you to take the Q3 bus, which would be about, this time, well, it's not trying to say it's a 31-minute ride. I say it's about, they'll tell you to take the Q3 to, was it Hillside 187, transfer to the Q17, which takes you to 39th Avenue Main Street, which is like Flushing and Main Street. And then you walk around a corner and you transfer to the Q50 Limited. It's like, they say to leave 4:55 a.m., but it's like the Q50 Limited, which takes you directly to Co-op City. Google Maps clocked that as an hour and 49 minutes, hour and 50 minutes. But that's based on leaving at 4:55 a.m. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's not bad, but I would probably be more closer to this one, where it says take the air train to Jamaica, transfer to the Q44 select bus to, well, they told Parkchester. It's like you said, it started at 5 o'clock in the morning. They told it Parkchester and then transfer to the 6 and to the BX23. We're not doing that either. It's like, because to the Q50, the Q44 connects with the Q50 in downtown Flushing. So you can cut all that out. Let me give it a later time. Let me plug in a later time, like say 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, like I said, yeah, they clocked it as around 55 minutes, but let's see the details on that. Okay, leave at 4:59. You take the air train that departs at 6:06. It's like 1 minute. Okay, so that means you had a 15-minute wait. So I'm gonna time squeeze that. It says 1 minute. I'm gonna time squeeze that to like say at 6 o'clock. Which cuts off 10 minutes, like hour 45. They say take the air train to Jamaica Station. That's a 13-minute ride. Supposed to arrive there at Jamaica Station at 6:19. Walk about. They give you about 5 minutes walk, because then you have to buy the Metro card, like I said, and then you transfer at Suffolk to Jamaica to the Q44 Select. That's going to the, but they telling you off at Brush out Bruckner. Maybe it's because of the time, but it's like they said that clocked in at 46 minutes. Well, that time at that time of the day, because it's not that much traffic out there. They clocked about 45-minute ride, and then it's like the Q50 limited Brush at Brooklyn. You don't even have to walk anywhere. It's like about 16-minute ride. That's about good. An hour and 45 minutes estimated. I would pretty much go off at Flushing. That's a little better option. And I will also throw in the option of taking the Q25 bus along Casino Parsons. But I would say hour and 45 minutes would be the best option. Yeah, that will be one of my advisories when I go on the field. I'll show you where to board the bus later. That's agreeable. And then also you can check the Schedule Explorer. When this feature comes up, it gives you like many different ways. Nobody's going to advise going to Manhattan. You want to take the most direct route. Okay, Q10 is like a slow thing. We're gonna put people on the air train, but it gives you a whole lot of options to choose from. That's the good part of the Google Maps, but the flaw is that it's indirect. Okay, here's another flaw. Here's another flaw with Google Maps. I plugged in travel directions via transit from John F. Kennedy International Airport, Terminal 5, which you see here, to Smith Haven Mall, which is in Suffolk County. That's like a sample. Okay. What it doesn't show, what it shows here is this. It reads, sorry, we could not calculate transit directions from JFK Airport Terminal 5, Queens, New York, to Smith Haven Mall, which is the address. Because, they couldn't calculate transit directions. Maybe they didn't, because the main reason, because Google did not acknowledge, or they did not register, Suffolk County Transit did not register their system into Google Maps. Okay. To be truthful, this is the Suffolk County Transit. This is like 2015. It's like maybe an old map, but 2015 after they put Sunday service and everything. Okay. What you need if you go into Suffolk County, along with the railroad map, you'll need the Suffolk County Transit map, so that you can maneuver your way, so that you can find your way to the nearest railroad station. In the event I plugged in Smith Haven Mall, which is here. So, but it's like this. According to this, it's closest to the St. James station, but they're gonna put you in a taxi. So you're either going to go to the Smithtown station, which is by bus here, or you're going to go to Ronkonkoma station, which is here. Which is probably the more advisable one because it's a more direct route, and you have a faster train here. And then on weekends it's a 3D, so they're gonna send you to Central, Islip, or Brentwood. But you're going to need a Suffolk County Transit map to account for this when it's like missing information. I plug, people. This is a real. People flying to JFK Airport, they don't necessarily fly into MacArthur. They fly into JFK Airport because that's where the flights come in, and they have to go to Suffolk County. So this is like a real problem when it comes. This is a real problem. But you're going to need a Suffolk County Transit map. You're going to need the Suffolk County app to give you a hint on how much travel time you really need. And the last flaw of Google Maps, which when I go into the field, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know. The last flaw of Google Maps, it's like they give you long-winded. They give you travel directions that might take about 3 hours when it really doesn't take that long. Like, I plugged in JFK Airport to say Bricktown Mall, which is at the end of Staten Island, like Tottenville. Yes, there's a direct connection. We can agree that there's a direct connection between the B15 bus and the B8 bus, but we're not going. But a person traveling that's a person traveling that distance will not be. We're not going to. How should I say? Many of us are not going to ride that. Like many of us are not going to use use that use a long indirect routes for such a trip. I mean, like what I'm anticipating is say maybe 35 minutes. They say it takes 35 minutes just to Brownsville. I'm anticipating like 35 minutes to downtown Brooklyn on the A. And then say like another hour. I'm anticipating like 20. I'm anticipating that by the time you go from here to here, using these two buses, I'm somewhere around here. You'll be somewhere around here using the subway. So I'm going to show you the route. I'm going to show you the route of what you need to know tomorrow. Okay, here's a very important website that you need to look at before you plan your trip to the airlines and everything. Okay, you need to know whether all the trains are running. I mean, the buses will be running, but you need to know whether the trains are running. And in the case where it's bus, you click here. They have planned detours. Like, okay, even though they say it's free during spring break. Okay, that's LaGuardia Airport. But you need to know. Whether there's a delay or there's a service change on the Long Beach branch. They said buses replace trains between Long Beach and Valley Stream on 3 consecutive weekends. So you need to know that might affect your trip if you have to take the Long Island Railroad. You know how it affects you. And the subway is the same thing. Okay, it's their plan. We're going. Okay. Ultra Far Rockaway by trains run express from Hoyt skim on to Euclid Avenue. Track maintenance. That's the effect. It affects you here. So in the case where let's say you decide to take the A train instead of the B-15 bus, and you're going into the airport this particular weekend. Okay, you need. Okay, they said it's Queen. Okay. Okay, it's a train stop at no train. Okay, it's going express. Okay, but these are nights. Okay, you need to know this because it might affect you if you happen to be at a local station and you can't just travel. So they're gonna force. So it means, in other words, they'll force you to backtrack. Like if you're at, what is it? Let's say, Ralph Avenue. You see. They say, okay, you at Ralph Avenue, you will have to take the train to Utica and then transfer. You have to take the train to Utica Avenue and then transfer going backwards towards Queens. So it affects you here. So you need to know this part. Okay, now, but aside from that, we have to give you, regarding the 3 lines that service the air train, to connect with the air train, and the lines that go into the airport. Okay, we're going to start with the A train. As I stated before, this is the timetable. I don't think they give you paper timetable, so you have to look online for it. As you can see, the route from end to end, from 20 on a weekday, from 207 to Mott. Its average is about 10:07. Let's see, like 10:07 went all the way down across to 11:40. They said it clocked in as an hour and 40 minutes. They said that's an hour and 40-minute run. That is much, hour and 40-minute run, and that's as express. And it doesn't give you the complete schedule, but it tells you how frequent you expect it. Say, okay, it's every 20 minutes during the late night hour, during these hours. About every, like, say, roughly say 3 to 9 minutes during the rush hour. 3 to 6 minutes, 3 to 9 minutes, 3 to 7 minutes, something like that. Around that for the rush hour. Most, they say 5 to 8 minutes. They say every 5 to 8 minutes of rugby, but like but it's like, very frequent during the rush hour. About say every 8 to 10 minutes to Rockaway Boulevard. So you can pretty much expect the train to arrive, say every. They say according to a weekday schedule. They have trains like every 18, 20 minutes. Like 15 to 20 minutes during off-peak hours. So, on a weekday. On weekends, it's every 7 to 8 minutes. So, it's about 15 minutes you can expect the A train. On a Saturday. Sunday is like every 20 minutes. You could expect the A train at Howard Beach. Maybe 24 minutes. So that's what you expect for the A. For the E, which is it's about every 5 minutes at rush hour, 4 or 5 minutes at rush hour. Averages out about 7 minutes. Say 6 to 8 minutes, average about 7 minutes during the off-peak hours, midday. Evenings, say like 10 minutes, 20 minutes late night, of course. And then, on Saturdays, weekends, it averages about to 7 to 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes during the day, 10 minutes in the evening. And Sundays, every 10 minutes, 15 minutes during the evening. So, that's what you could expect for the E. For the J and the Z line. Okay, it's a skip-stop service, but, it's every 10 minutes at skip-stop stations, every 5 minutes at stations served by both the J and the Z during rush hour. 5 to 6 minutes. Every 10 minutes during the off-peak hour. Middays, evenings. 20 minutes late nights, of course. And, Saturdays, every 10 minutes. And then Sundays, every 10 minutes. That's what you could expect with the J. Okay, now we're going to go with the buses. That goes to the airport. Okay, it's the B-15. Okay, this is as of April. Okay, it's like, it's not that frequent during the late night. It's like, say, 45 minutes. But like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It's an hour run during the late night. 6 o'clock to 7. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. This came out to be an hour and 30 minutes. Like, it's about every. Going into JFK, you won't have that much. It's like, it won't be as. Say maybe 12 to 15 minutes, 12 to 20 minutes. So it's roughly an hour and a half. I give it average about hour 20 minutes, but it's roughly an hour and a half ride. Not 12 minutes. And then it's very frequent in the middle of the day on weekdays going to the airport. Say about every 7 minutes. But rush hour is a little different. It's like they need more coverage, so since it's a long route, like 209, that's about an hour and 35 minutes. That's the longest it will take. This one doesn't look realistic. From 326 to 511, like over an hour 45 minutes. That doesn't look realistic. But that doesn't look, but it's like it's not that frequent. it's not that frequent during the rush hour. And during the evenings, about 20 minutes. Okay, let's see, Saturdays. Saturdays, about 15 minutes, roughly. It's good to have these if you can, because these they print out. Sundays by every like 10 to 20 minutes, because sometimes they have all trips going into the airport. Sometimes they don't. But that's the B-15 schedule. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, now we're gonna go into the Queens part. Just so you know, this is like the schedule began. It's like the Q3 is at all times. It's roughly about every 8 to 12 minutes at rush hours. 15 minutes during midday. Yeah. 20 minutes evening and like 30 minutes during late nights. Weekends is low. Okay, Barry. Okay, the highest frequency is about 12 minutes, but it's usually about 15 to 20 minutes on a Saturday. And the same general for Sun is like 30 minutes during early morning, but 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Wait for Sunday. That's what you expect for the Q3. The Q10 is the up. Yes, that's a local and unlimited. What you could expect with the local and unlimited. Okay, they have local and unlimited. This is about as frequent, about every 6 to 9 minutes. The limit is about every 15 to 20 minutes headways. But this is pretty much what you could expect with the Q10. It's about every 20 minutes during the late night hour, but generally frequent during the day. So it's very important that you access the schedules on everything of the bus routes, so that you have an idea how frequent it runs, and then you may want to time your transfers. The last piece of information you need is okay, before we go out, is you need the NICE bus map, Nassau County Inter-County Express. That is mainly for the Nassau County bus routes. This is very important. So in the case where you can't afford the Long Island Railroad, and you just want to go into the airport via the tram to the Q3 to Terminal 5, and then you can't afford the air train on top of that. So this is very important because you need to know where to connect with the Q3 bus to take you to the airport.
For you Long Island Railroad customers, here's some important information that you need, and that's the timetables. Give you a hint of how long. This way you can follow along how long it actually takes from wherever your station is to Jamaica. Well, if you happen to be on this branch, the Port Washington branch, you will not be going to Jamaica. So my advice to you, if you go into the airport, scrap the Port Washington branch, because you will need to take NICE bus from the Port Washington area. The route, the Port Washington area into Jamaica to transfer to the Q3. You will need that. So if you happen to be Port Washington, which is up here, like say Manor Haven, this area, you would want to find your way to was it Hillside Avenue and 187th Street to transfer to the Q3, which is over here. The Q3 will take you into Terminal 5, Terminal 5 of the airport, and then you need the air train if you have to go to a certain terminal. You will have to scrap the Port Washington branch, so the Port Washington branch railroad plan, so that you can take the bus in. Oyster Bay is like Oyster Bay. You may be able to get away because it's fast to use the railroad that way. But but I'm not advising the railroad for Nassau County. But if you Port Washington, you have to scrap it because the Port Washington branch is not going to Jamaica. Okay, so that solved that one. Okay, that solved that one regarding the Port Washington branch. Okay, most LIR branch, most of which is really Ronkonkoma, what was it, Babylon, whatever, Ronkonkoma, Babylon, or Port Jefferson branch, whichever one. Whichever, I mean, I'm not sure, but it's like I have a Ronkonkoma here, but I mean, most important is you will need one of these timetables so you find out what train it is, what time your train is, and you may want to, know the air trains by every 7 to 12 minutes, the frequency, but you may want to time the transfer there. And if you deep in Suffolk County, you need one of these bus schedules. You need to log on to SC, the Suffolk County Transit website. I'll show it to you in a minute. So you can download these schedules, print them up. You need to meet your connections with the train, and then to go to Jamaica, and then you need to connect with the air train. So these are very important here. Okay, if you happen to take the Long Island Railroad in Nassau County to Nassau County, and then have to take Nice Bus, you need the Nice Bus schedule. Log on to www.nicebus.com. Print up the schedule to take you to the buses in perhaps the eastern Nassau County areas, like maybe say the east of Higgsville, if it's the mainline railroad, east of Hempstead on the Hempstead branch. I would say east of Freeport on the Babylon branch because if you west of Freeport, you may want to take the bus in because the N4 is there. If you west of Hempstead, you may want to take the certain line. But if it takes over, like I say, if it takes over 2 hours, if you expect it to take over 2 hours, because the Q3 is about a 45-minute ride to Hillside Avenue, if that's about an hour and 45 minutes, I would anticipate to JFK. If it takes over 2 hours, you may want to just use the railroad. Like if you have to go beyond it, like you may want to use the railroad and transfer to a bus. So you have to time that. You have to plan the schedule for this. So this will be important. This is very important if you need to go to certain parts of Nassau County, eastern Nassau County. You need these timetables and the Nice Bus schedule.
Here's very important for those that's in the New York City area, but depends on the immediate suburban transit. Okay, Nice Bus. This is the website for Nice Bus if you're in Nassau County and you need to connect with the Q3 bus to JFK. This is a very important site. This is where you click for the schedules, the bus map schedule, interactive map, everything. This is your site here for Nassau County. Okay, Suffolk County. If you need to connect with the Long Island. Oh, same thing with especially with Nice Bus. Also, if you need to connect with the Long Island Railroad, this is what you need here. Connect with connect with the Air Train Jamaica. You need this site here for schedule information. Suffolk County. This is your site. This is your website, as you see right here, sct.bus.org. You need this for your schedule information to connect with the Long Island Railroad. This is your site. You need this so you can print up the bus schedule. This is where you print up schedules like large prints or whatever. You need this print up for your schedules. So Suffolk County, those in Suffolk County, you need this site. And then Beeline, if you're on the Westchester Beeline. Okay, Beeline Bus. This is the website here. It's transportation.westchester.gov/Beeline. That's the website. It's like it says smart commute, whatever, commute. But this is transportation, the Beeline system, service alerts. They take MetroCard. Suffolk County doesn't take MetroCard, but this like trip planning. and you want to do trip planning, it's like they have, okay, Beeline bus. You can use Google Maps of 511 New York to do. So you may be able to. Let's see. Plan a trip from Westchester County to JFK. Let me test this. Let me see. Okay, let me plan a trip here. Okay, Google is going to tell you to take. It's still indirect. I'm not going to follow that. I'm not going to follow that one because for one, it's like it's going to send you indirectly. Even though it says it takes about 2 hours 22 minutes from White Plains, I'm not going to follow that. You know, because there's others. Because in actuality, let's see. Looking at the run, it's like a 56-minute ride from White Plains to Grand Central, just for, you know, it don't make sense. You know, you have other stuff like from White Plains you have Coach USA to Queens Village, and then you could take 2 buses into JFK. So it's like, you know, you can cut out all that Manhattan stuff. So, but other than that, if you happen to be in Westchester County, this is important. I mean, it's important that you access this site here. And it's like, let's see the system map. Is this coming up? Okay, this is the system map for Westchester Beeline, and the Putnam area. That's Putnam County, but this is Westchester County Beeline map. Okay, you see downtown White Plains or whatever. They allow you to use Google Maps here. In most case scenarios, like if you say Westchester County, it's like, especially the southern part, like Tuckahoe, Eastchester, New Rochelle, Yonkers, Mount Vernon. It's like you're very close to the Bronx, as you can see. So you pretty much would try to connect. What I would try to advise you, if you happen to be in these areas, like Scars, anywhere south of White Plains, I would pretty much advise you to try to connect with a subway line in the Bronx. Either it has to be the 2, the 5, or the 6. The 2, 5, or 6. Why is it 2, 5, or 6? Because the number 2 train is going to take you to West Farm Square. The 5 is going to take you to West Farm Square. The number 6 is going to take you to Parkchester. But then again, number 6, if it's the 6, you don't need the 6 train. But because the Q50 bus, because going to JFK, the Q50 bus is right there going into Queens, and you will just transfer to either the 20, the 44, the 25, or whatever to Suffolk and Archer, and then catch the air train. So, but I'm gonna, but this is important. But it's like, this is important. You need this site here if you're on the south part. If you're like White Plains and North, then you may want to use the Coach USA or Trailways whenever it's running. But these are the areas that I'm covering, immediate areas that I'm covering in regards to going to and from JFK Airport. Okay. Let's say here's the airport. Let's say you just got off your flight, I'm here at Terminal 5. Let's say you just got off your flight and you need to go where you have to go to catch public transportation. First, you need to follow the signs. When you come out of your plane, you go everything. You need to follow the sign that says ground transportation. And when you follow the sign ground transportation, it will lead you to signs where it says air train. Like this, you see signs like this which says air train. But we're at Terminal 5. This is also an area where you can catch the buses as well. We're about to walk the skywalk, so to speak. Because this is what leads you to the air train and public buses. This kind of speeds you up from walking regularly. There's also area says taxis, but we don't have money for taxis. Maybe a special note. Okay, we're the area where you see the elevators, the entrance to the air train. Okay, as you can see, these are planes, like that's the runway areas, the planes and everything. That's where the buses are. Okay, if you have to catch a bus going to either Brooklyn or parts of Queens, you need to take the elevators downstairs. We're going to the air train, which is straight up here. And bear in mind, any person, if you had this is Terminal 5, so if you happen to be at different terminals, you may want to take an air train, and you have to catch a bus out here, you may want to take an air train here or to Lethbridge Boulevard Station to catch one of these buses. Lethbridge Boulevard, you catch the Q10 and the B15. Here you can catch all three buses. And when you arrive here, it's we have all the maps. Okay. As I showed you yesterday, that's what's the New York City subway map. Now, very important to note. Okay, very important to note. The trains that come to the airport are the A, which is at Howard Beach Station, the E, which is at Suffolk Boulevard, and the J at Suffolk Boulevard. Okay. Okay, those are the trains that come here. We have to take the air train. Okay, these are the regional rail connectors. At Jamaica Station, you have the Long Island Railroad. And the railroad, and this is the railroad map that I showed you yesterday. Okay, now at the station, we're going to take, at the station there are 3 air trains. Okay, there's an air train to Howard Beach, which is green. Okay, there's an air train to Jamaica, which is red, and then there's an air train which just circles the airline, circles the airport. That's the gold one. The frequency is about, say, every 7 to 12 minutes throughout the day. 7 to 12 minutes at peak hour, 10 to 15 off peak. Weekends about every 15 minutes. Late nights every 20 minutes, so to speak. Just note, okay, this is Terminal 5. If you're at Terminal 7 or 8 and you need to catch the Q3 bus, you should take the gold air train back here 2 stops for the transfer. If you need to catch the Q10 or B15 bus from either Terminal 7 or Terminal 8, you should take the Howard Beach train, which is green, over to Lethbridge Boulevard, and you transfer there, as you can see. If you're at terminals 1, 2, and 1 through 4, you take either Jamaica or Howard Beach air train. Jamaica Howard Beach air train this way. Get off here at Terminal 5 and transfer to any bus here. The reason is because the way it circles. So that's the most direct route if you're gonna try to catch the buses. That's a little bit okay. We're going downstairs to wait for the air train. Yeah, okay, this is the one that circles the airport. It says airline terminals only. This is the one that circles the airport. You can always pick up a timetable here too, so you know what time the next air train lands. Okay, we're not gonna catch the next one. Not gonna catch the next one there. She just mentioned. Okay, we're now boarding the Howard Beach train. As you can see, it is really crowded.
Nice talking to you. Sorry.
That gives you, if you read the sign, it tells you what train you want at the next stop.
This is a Howard Beach train, stopping at Federal Circle for hotel shuttles and rental cars, Lefferts Boulevard and Howard Beach for long-term parking, as well as connections to the A train.
Once we get the car, oh wait, I have the address, I put it in the GPS. We're doing the Sunrise Highway, I think. Probably Uncle Jojo has. Sticky, it probably is. I'll plug it in while you're at his house.
This is the Howard Beach train stopping at Howard Beach for long-term parking, as well as connections to the A train.
Okay, as you're about to arrive at Howard Beach Station, we will transfer to the A train. This is the Far Rockaway branch of the A train. Just bear in mind, so if you're coming from Manhattan, you need to board the train that reads Far Rockaway or Rockaway Park. You cannot board the train that goes to left.
We are arriving at Howard Beach for long-term parking, as well as connections to the A train. Please take your belongings.
And you see that's the station here.
This train attraction is going to JFK Airport, stopping at Lefferts Boulevard for long-term parking. Federal Circle for hotel shuttles.
This is, if you come off the A train, this is where you board the air train. Just make mental note, anybody that's going to Lower Manhattan, certain parts of Brooklyn or Staten Island, this is the station you need to be at, Howard Beach. Come out of JFK, because this is the most direct train going in that direction. The E train is not going it's going to Lower Manhattan, but it's not going in that direction. It's going more in the direction of Midtown. So this is the station you need. And then you have to buy a Metro card over there. You have to buy a Metro card, it's like an ATM here. So in order to transfer. Here is an inbound Far Rockaway A train. Since these trains are not that frequent, but you can tell they're minutes apart, as there's a Manhattan-bound A train coming. And this is a Manhattan-bound A train departing. These trains are not that frequent, but you could tell like they, in the opposite direction, they're scheduled around the arrival and departure of the air trains.
Well, Gold. You're so cute. Where are you going?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
As you can tell, we're on a Jamaica train. This is the only train that rises above the Van Wyck Expressway.
Sorry, thank you.
This is us leaving the airport. Here we are. About this line, this train, it speeds through the neighborhoods. Where we normally ride the buses to the subway, this will speed through the neighborhoods above the Van Wyck Expressway. Here we are at Jamaica Station.
With connections to the LIRR, E, J, and Z train service. Please take your belongings.
As you can see, those are the Long Island Railroad stations over there.
Tris, come. Tris. Tris.
We're here.
train is a Jamaica train, stopping at Federal Circle for hotel shuttles and rental cars, and all airline terminals.
As you can see, as we exit the train, okay, you need to follow the signs. Okay, that you have to pay the AirTrain fare to exit. If you want Midtown Manhattan, you have it's the subway, it's the E train, or you can take the Long Island Railroad, which takes you to Long Island as well. The J and the Z train is also available, and for the Bronx, it says buses. You will have to take the Q44 Select. Okay, once you exit to this place, you have to swipe. After you swipe, all I see is you have to buy MetroCard and swipe. Once you swipe through the exit, you know, there's signs that tell you to direct you to the buses and to the subway. These lead to some of the bus routes that it says here, and this is the sign leads to the subway. Okay, I'm gonna give you the directions. This is the directions if you're coming from the airport terminals to the subways. Or the railroad going to Manhattan or other areas. Okay, pay attention. Follow the signs to where it says New York City Subway and Long Island Railroad. But see, as you see, these are closed. Okay, you're in the Long Island Railroad portion here, as you see where it says MTA Long Island Railroad. What you should do is check these. If you're taking a Long Island Railroad, you should check these signs for your train. These are outbound schedules, for example, for all the branches. And then these are for the Manhattan and Brooklyn bound trains. Okay, if you're taking the railroad, the fastest route to Midtown Manhattan is the Long Island Railroad. Penn Station, you're there in 20 minutes. Fastest train maybe 15 minutes, 16 minutes. So. But it's going to come at a price, and this is where you have the paper timetables here. Once you see your train, you enter at one of these corresponding to your train. Well, these tracks are mostly for Manhattan bound over here. Manhattan and Brooklyn bound, as you see, East New York. East New York is doing on track 3. And then the Manhattan bound trains are usually track 1 and 2. Okay, and then now, if you're not taking the Long Island Railroad in any of the directions, in either of the directions, what you'll do is you'll follow these signs where it says lobby to buses and subway. As you see, like that's the Long Island Railroad train departing. Yeah, but here comes the elevator now. Okay, to go to the subway, you'll push A. If you want the street level, you push B.
O cuando la prima.
It's a street level for the buses. level, you go exit for the subway. And it gives you the map of the railroads and the air train here. Okay, they say Queens, Miami, Brooklyn. And as you see, you enter that way to go to the subway. Okay, this is an E train arriving. This is the train you take to go to Midtown Manhattan. If you're going to Midtown Manhattan, up like all the way down to say at least 14th Street or 14th Street, or no further than West 4th Street, no further south than West 4th Street or Spring Street. You know, you use it along Queens Boulevard because it's an express. This is line you use to go to, if you're going to, like say Harlem, you need to transfer in Midtown to a B or a D train to continue to Harlem. If you're going to Inwood, like Washington Heights and Inwood, you transfer to a B or D train to 59th Street or 125th Street, and then you transfer to the A train. Why I'm saying this, okay, the A train goes from Howard Beach directly, but you don't want to go through Brooklyn. So this is your better option going to those parts of Manhattan. If you're going to the Bronx, south of 161st Street, which includes Hunts Point, you would take this into Manhattan and transfer to a Bronx-bound train, be it the 6 if you're going towards Hunts Point, the 6 at Lexington Avenue, 53rd Street, that's a 51st Street stop. Or if you're going to say 149th Street, 3rd Avenue, around the Hub, which is a work area, you would take this to Queens Plaza, transfer to the R, one stop to Lexington, and transfer to the number 5. The number 4 goes by Hostos College. Yankee Stadium, you would take this to 7th Avenue, transfer to the B or the D. You would transfer to the B train during the PM rush hour because the D bypasses Yankee Stadium. So the B train is a little slower trip. This you should be in Midtown about 40 minutes. Okay, I have a surprise for you J-Line customers, and it's this notice here. It says no J trains at this station. Take the Eagles. J's are not running between Jamaica Center and Broadway Junction. Okay, you must pay attention. You must go online and pay attention to this. If you're in Brooklyn and you're going to JFK Airport, let's say in Brooklyn or J, they're going to tell you go off at Broadway Junction, transfer to the Far Rockaway A train to Howard Beach. They're not going to tell you to come here because the shuttle bus is very slow. So that's a very important thing to know. They're going to tell you to get on the A train. If you're up to Crescent Street, it's better that you walk to the A train because the A train is about a few blocks south along under Pickin Avenue. If you happen to if you just run the J line between Brooklyn and here, well, you have the alternate, the Q56, which runs below it. You don't. This way, you don't have to take a shuttle bus to the E. And you have the Q24 along Atlantic Ave. But this is very, very important for you to know. Very important information. Okay, folks. This pretty much sums up everything. This pretty much sums up everything regarding what you need to know how to get out of JFK Airport as far as transit is concerned. Okay, this is important. This is the way to the buses. We're going to the bus stop for the Q44 Select. You know these taxi people. This is for those who's traveling to the Bronx. Most areas of the Bronx. The subway is not going into the Bronx directly from here. Even though the service of the Bronx is going to the MAP, it's not going to the Bronx from here. So if you want to go to the Bronx, you need the Q44 bus. It looks like this. But that's going the opposite direction. Looks just like this one, but it's going the opposite direction. Okay, here we are at the bus stop for the Q44 Select. But this is like, oh, because of construction, we have to go to, because of construction, we're going to have to go to Suffolk and all. But this is normally the bus stop. Yeah, so they move the kiosks. They're doing construction, so we're going to have to go one block north. This is good to know as a transit service out there. We're crossing in about a few seconds. we're at the next bus stop, the alternate bus stop for the Q44 Select bus. As you can see, there's a map here giving you the route. As you can see, this is a direct route to the Bronx. I mean, it's called Bus Rapid Transit because there's no subway line going directly from here to the Bronx, and this is the most direct route. In order, it's not this bus. For the Q44 bus Select, which you have to pay here. Okay, you will push this, and then you will search your Metro card, and then you will get a receipt here. You know, this the one that takes change only. And it's important that you have a receipt. It's important that you have a receipt. And when the bus arrives, you can enter at any door, but you must have a receipt. So just in case if a cop comes, you know, you show the receipt. If they don't, they're gonna pull you off the bus. We'll wait. Okay, here comes the Q44 Select. You see, turning around at the corner. This is a Jamaica-bound one in front of us. Bear in mind, note, those of you in the Bronx, because of construction, this will be the stop you get off at to transfer to the air train. Other keynote. Other keynotes. Those of you going to Westchester County, or those of you that need the number 2, the number 5, or the number 6 train, or you just pretty much need most of the Bronx, north of East 161st Street, and west of Riverdale. You know, the sections of Bronx south of East 161st Street, which includes Hunts Point, will be excluded for this. We're excluded for this advisory because it's like you're going to Harlem. But north of East 161st Street and west of Riverdale, the advisory is to take this Q44 bus. As you can see, you can enter at any door.
Let's go.
You can enter any door, which speeds up the boarding process. This was once unlimited, but now they turned it to a select bus. The Q20 is the local version of the route, and it has Wi-Fi USB on it. Also, those of you that need Metro North, you need to use this Q44 bus to either Castle Hill for the BX22 or the West Farm Square for the BX9, so you can go to Fordham Plaza. That's where you will catch the Metro North service going up. Beeline service, you can catch it at Pelham Parkway on the 2, or you can catch it towards the terminals on the 2, the 5, and the 6. And you can also transfer to the Q50 in downtown Flushing, which will take you to Co-op City and Pelham Bay Park area for Beeline bus. Okay, here at Terminal 5, this is where you have to follow the signs to your buses. There's public buses, this one. first bus stop that you'll encounter is the B-15. And you see there's a B-15 bus right here. He's parked. This is the bus stop going to Brooklyn. And then you see Q3, which is the next one after that, which is for Eastern Queens, which is east of the Van Wyck. And way in the front is the Q10. This is the B-15 bus to Brooklyn. This is the bus that carries most areas of Brooklyn. This is the bus that carries most areas of Brooklyn, especially Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's pretty much the longest route in Brooklyn. It'll take you about 80 minutes from here to the last stop. It connects with several Brooklyn bus routes, and it's probably your best option if you go into certain areas of Brooklyn using a paper ride MetroCard. This is the Q3. This one's on the east side of Queens, Eastern Queens area, which is east of the Van Wyck Expressway. That's a bus that I take to my area of Queens, and you also take that if you go in Nassau County, transfer to Nice Bus. This is the Q10 bus, Q10 local. This travels via Lefferts Boulevard, as you see on the sign. Mental note, pay attention to the signs. If you at Lefferts Boulevard station on the air train, the Q10 local will not stop there because it runs Rockaway Boulevard. That's the Q10 Limited, which runs straight up Lefferts Boulevard. If you need a Q10 local, you need to either get off here or you need to go to Federal Circle.